the book that changed my life, and somebody's got something to say. It's episode 38 of In Real Life. This episode is sponsored by HunterYoga.com, where mamas get more peaceful with mindfulness and yoga. Some of you may know that I used to be overweight, obese in fact. I was 40 or 50 pounds heavier than I am today. And I was very unhappy. I finally dug out some pictures. That was not a period of my life where I liked to take pictures, so they were hard to find. But yeah, this was a time of life where I was eating sugar. That was literally my drug of choice. I was consuming nicotine. I used to smoke. I would drink caffeine. I was doing NutraSweet, just anything. I was like an addict, right? But by God's grace and the help of a lot of people, I finally just said no to all that stuff. I said no more processed junk. I'm not going to poison my body anymore. And just one day, I just said, okay, this is it. And I just kind of marched forward in this kind of new lifestyle with, again, a lot of support. And I lost the weight. It took me about a year, but it was awesome, right? I'm like, yay, this is amazing. And I didn't over-exercise. I didn't do anything weird with my diet. I mean, I just ate sensible meals, and it was just a tremendous blessing. But I have to say, once I got to kind of my maintenance or set point weight, I started to feel bad. And it was just amazing because I thought, gosh, I'm eating healthy, you know, I'm living such a better lifestyle. And yet I was having digestion issues and low blood sugar problems and some anxiety. And I just was not in a good place. And so I, tried all these different things to try to get better, different supplements. And I tried a raw, vegan diet. And I tried food combining. And I mean, I could go on. I probably have tried everything out there, right? And nothing was really working. And it wasn't until I found this book, and I don't even remember how I stumbled upon it, but this is called Nourishing Traditions. It's a cookbook, but also an educational book, and it's written by Sally Fallon. Now, I'm sure for most of you out there, you've heard of this book, you probably own this book, and it's probably well used and loved like mine is. But I have to tell you, this book radically changed my life out of any book, and it still to this day is the #1 book that has really impacted my life when it comes to my nutrition. And really, this book is all about looking at the works of Dr. Weston A. Price. He was a dentist, and he actually traveled the world at the turn of the century and looked at cultures with the highest longevity rates. And he basically found some common themes in their lifestyle and their diet. And in a nutshell, you'll have to read the book, but in a nutshell, they ate real food and they prepared it properly. And that's really what this cookbook teaches you how to do. And this cookbook set off a movement. The real food movement, I think, can largely be attributed to this book. A lot of food bloggers out there too. And yeah, it's just an awesome thing. So they actually do an annual convention. It's called the Weston A. Price Convention, and it's all around the country, kind of rotates. And I have not been since before I had kids, okay? So I'm super excited because I'm actually going this year. It's right in Indy, so it's only like 3 hours away. Griffin's gonna go to his grandma and grandpa's house, which he's very excited about, and we're gonna take along Paloma. And I'm just really looking forward to being with my people, and just listening and soaking it in and shopping. Let me just tell you, they have the best vendors and the healthiest foods and products there. So we're gonna do a whole video about that coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. But if any of you are going to be there, please let me know in the comments below because I'd love to meet up with some of y'all. When I think of Weston A. Price or Nourishing Traditions, I really feel like the whole message could be boiled down to this. Eat the way your grandparents ate, or maybe your great-great-grandparents. But the whole idea is just going back the way we used to eat, right? Whole foods. And, that really has a special meaning for me personally because I was actually named after my grandmother. Her name was Genevieve as well, and we actually shared the same birthday. And it turns out she had the same birthday as her husband, which was my grandpa. So it was kind of this cool connection point that I had with them. Now, unfortunately, I never got to meet my grandmother in person. She actually died in her 70s due to complications in a surgery. But I feel like her spirit kind of lives on because my mom always loves to tell me that she was a crunchy mama. This woman had 7 children. She was a huge breastfeeder. She made homemade pumpernickel bread from scratch. She would take in the cod liver oil every day. She even drank the same water that I drink. I mean, it's kind of crazy, all the similarities. And it's just like the beautiful reminder that those kind of genes can carry on, you know what I mean, and those qualities. And I wonder if any of you have something like that. Maybe you've inherited your grandpa's musical talents, or maybe your grandmother's sense of humor or something like that. Or maybe you could be the start of a new trait that you could pass on, Maybe it's about that you could be this healthy example of just living well or loving your spouse or whatever it is. It's just powerful to think about. If you're starting to think about your Thanksgiving menu already, we have a delicious grain-free pecan pie recipe up on the blog. I'll have a link in the video description below.
And now a word from our sponsor.
HunterYoga.com is a place where mamas can go to let go of stress and bring more joy and peace into their lives. Hunter has programs, videos, and one-on-one coaching to help you thrive in all areas of your life. By learning how to incorporate simple acts of mindfulness and yoga, you can improve your sleep quality, emotional stability, thinking patterns, and overall happiness. Join in on a free 14-day virtual retreat on her website, HunterYoga.com.
Aww.
Yes, little Miss Paloma's first word, too cute. And speaking of common family member traits, check out what Griffin's first word was.
Dog. Doggy.
How about you? What were your baby's first words? Was there any common family connections? Share with me in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. This helps us spread the word and reach more natural mamas. Just so you know, we do 2 videos a week. On Tuesdays, it's usually some kind of natural living tip or trick, and on Thursdays, it's always the IRL show. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these videos, and we'll catch you next time.